All right, so the next matchup we need to talk about. Unfortunately, matchup with one of my good friends, Stephen Martello. It's a matchup I didn't want to get into. It's conflict of interest with me, right? Stephen Martello, we go long back. We go way long back, right? We've been friends for a very long time. You know, he invited me to be the spokesman of this league. And it's a matchup that he really cares and is really he cares about this matchup so much, right? So it's only right that we talk about this matchup. It's one of the biggest rivalries in this league. And limo riding, jet flying son of a gun. He beat fourth down and bitches 111.02 to 82.3. With that said, we're going to take a look at next week's matchups. Next week. So we look at who I'm sitting at 22-10 when it comes to our matchups of the week. My predictions. Not sitting pretty, you know. I picked Speeding Bullets to beat at the power game. That was a win. Team Boo Boo, I picked No Fat Chicks to win that matchup. That was a loss. I did pick Frank to beat the Elite. That was a win. We have El Jefe versus Pop. Obviously, that's a loss because who in their right mind would have picked them? Bukaki versus Chris. I did mention Bukaki was going to grab that W. Cooking a little something. I thought she was going to rebound. Obviously, I was wrong. That was a loss. And then this matchup we just talked about, that was a loss as well. So we take a look at the matchups for Week 7. Like I said, we're sitting at 22-30. 22-20 in my predictions. So if you're betting money on this in Vegas, you know, we're sitting about flat. You're not winning a lot of money. It's very flip-floppy, right? So Week 7, we take a look at Fourth Down and Bitches versus Mr. Incognito. It's going to be a very pivotal matchup for both of them. I think Fourth Down and Bitches is going to rebound. I think it was a one-off anomaly. 82 points he put down. But we got to take a look at Mr. Incognito with the 168 that he put up. But you're looking at bye weeks. Don't forget about bye weeks. So Mr. Incognito going through the waiver wire for the quarterback play. So it's obviously going to be a big what's going on. So I think Four Down Bitch is going to rebound, but this one can easily go either way, right? We have Cooking a Little Something that's going up against Limo Right and Jeff Lyon, son of a gun. This one can also go back and forth. Limo Ryan, I don't believe in this team. I really don't. But Cooking a Little Something, I definitely don't believe on the team. So Limo Ryan is going to keep on riding the wave. Should be sitting at 4-3 at the end of this matchup. We have El Jefe going up against Trash Season. This should be a bully beatdown. I think Trash Season is going to grab that W. Same way it felt with Pop, right? So we'll see how that goes, right? We have No Fat Chicks going up against the Elite. Remember, I told you I don't think the Elite is contending this year, and any further this year. But once again, I'm always wrong. No Fat Chicks only put up 108 last week, so hopefully he can rebound. He does get Saquon back, so this should be an easier matchup moving forward. Speeding Bullets going up against Team Boo Boo. Feels like a trap game, right? Like Team Boo Boo is doing a lot of crazy shit. 2 straight victories, right? But we're gonna go with Speeding Bullets on this one. Like obviously, this is the man who should be winning this matchup. It just feels like a trap game. And then we have Power Game going up against Pop. I keep on picking Pop, and it's not working, but I'm gonna do it again. Like I said, Power Game should be the one that is should be fire selling. We should be seeing some moves getting pushed through, or maybe he thinks he can contend. But Pop, either way, this is a matchup where both teams need to win, no matter what. And whoever loses this matchup needs to move on to next season. We only have 10 days till the trade deadline. But I'm rooting for Pop on this one. I think Pop's going to grab this victory. Trash season. I would love trash season. I'll let Power Game to really get into this, but we'll see how this moves on moving forward. But I'm looking at Pop to grab this victory. We take a look at the matchup of the week. It's Bukaki versus Thielens. We have 2-4-2 teams sitting on top of the standings. Before we get into this matchup, I say just don't get too fooled with the standings on this one. I think Bukaki is a dominating character in this league. M.I. Thielens, maybe you could say he's a phony. He's a phony. So we look at the matchup of the week. Per usual, we go through each position, and from there we kind of decipher who's really going to win this matchup. The quarterback play with Lamar Jackson versus Dak Prescott. I think based on matchups alone, and you know how I feel. I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. I'm not a Dak Prescott fan. I hate both of them. I think they're both equally trash and overrated. Lamar Jackson's been coming in a form this season. Especially, this is his starting quarterback. Granted, Jared Goff is his backup quarterback for Bukaki, but I'm leaning towards Dak Prescott in favor of him. And I'm definitely not liking that matchup if that's what I'm shooting for. So advantage to Thielens on that one. We look at the wide receiver play. We got Lockett, we got Galladay, we got Devontae Parker over for Bukaki. Not the strongest play, but obviously it's the better play. Advantage over to Bukaki on that one because I'm not a big fan of Crowder. You know how I feel about Jamison Crowder. I think the guy's madly overrated. It does help that Sam Darnold is in action, makes the wide receivers a whole lot better. But with Marvin Jones and Sammy Watkins, definitely not feeling that advantage over to Bukaki. We look at the running back play. We have Coleman and Bernard for M.I. Thielens. Coleman, solid, right? Bernard, not so much. We look at the running back play over Bukaki, Zeke and Fournette, like hands down. Like these are elite running backs. The advantage goes over to. I wish I could have 2 arrows pointed over to Bukaki on this one because he's clearly winning the game here on this one. Tight end play, Andrews and Doyle. That's a no-brainer. Andrews is taking the cake on that one. And, Thielens is just in a bad position. Doyle is now your starting tight end, especially after you traded for Disley, and Disley died immediately. We look at the flex position. We have Tate, and then we have Marlon Mack for you. No-brainer also, Marlon Mack's an elite running back. We don't question the running back play over for Bukaki. It's stellar. And with the flex position, you have a top running back in play. It's going to Mack, no-brainer. The kicker and defense, we have Fairborn and Buffalo for Thielens. We have Lutz in Baltimore. Who cares? At the end of the day, I think Bukaki's winning this matchup hands down. The only reason why this is matchup of the week, look at the standings. I think this is, this matchup means something a little bit more. 2-4-2 teams, but it's not going to be as close as we want it to be. It's not going to be close, Ricky. You're going to lose. You're going to be 4-3 at the end of the day. Bukaki, problem is he goes to the roller coaster. He had a great matchup last week, killed it, but history shows he doesn't kill it afterwards. He goes through the shithole and then probably puts up 98 points this week. But who knows? Maybe those 98 points will grab that victory. So we finished with the matchup of the week. The last thing we have to call into action is our power rankings. We take a look at our power rankings, and after that, we are all done. I can get some sleep, and then we can worry about the commissioner, like housing me somewhere a little bit better for our meetings for the league office. So with that said, we look at the power rankings this week. Number 14, we are looking at the power game. Obviously, not so much power. 2-time champion, but this might be the first to worst call to action. So he's got some explaining to do. Cooking a little sudden, sitting at number 13. It's pretty much a fight for last at this moment. Not impressed with their team. It's time to sell. But we talk about the jambalaya. It's a big ass mix at 3-3 in the middle of all the standings. So maybe when we look at cooking a little sudden, and then we look at the power game, maybe there's some hope for them. Maybe this is the last straw this week if they can't grab the W. It would make sense, right? Number 12, we have the elite. Sitting at 3-3, I thought he might be a contender, but after what we saw, what he put up this week, granted it might be because of the bye weeks. Like we talk about Waller, Jacobs, Terrell Williams. He has 3 Raiders that he normally starts. Granted, maybe that was why he didn't have that great performance, or maybe it was just an anomaly last week or 2 weeks ago where he put up that high stellar performance. Number 11, we have Team Boo Boo. I'm not a believer on Team Boo Boo. Please, maybe he can tell me otherwise, but the guy grabs victories at 103 apiece. Like, he's not going to put up points. He starts players that it's just pure luck. Like, this is the taco of the league. You know what I'm talking about. Number 10, El Jefe, sitting at 3-3, streamed 2 straight wins. I think this is the week where I'm either going to believe what he can do, or we're not going to. He's either a believer or contender. If he can put up some points, keep it coming consistently, then maybe we'll buy into what El Jefe is telling us. Number 9 is Limo Wright and Jeff Lyons, son of a gun. Number 8 is Pomp, 4 straight losses. But I believe in what Pop's selling us. Like, even though with 4 straight losses, like, obviously this is the week you need to win. But we say this every week. But the problem is, it just gets more congested and more congested and more congested in the standings. But I think this is the week. Maybe he can bounce back. We'll see. The problem, what sucks is he invested in some players, traded some draft picks, and this is where we're sitting. Now, he's got 1 week to figure it out, and maybe he rebounds and rewinds, and maybe he shifts those players for draft picks and evens it out. That's what he's going to have to probably think about doing. Number 7, we're looking at 4th down and bitches. Number 6, we're taking a look at my feelings. We're looking at 2 straight losses. Prior to this week, he got a better victory moving forward. He is sitting at 4-2. We talk about his lineup management, and that's where he's winning these games. I don't know about Ricky, y'all. Number 5, we're looking at no fat chicks. A disappointing loss against Team Boo Boo, especially look at what he did last week. But he gets Saquon back, and maybe that means he can return to action, return to normality. You lose your number 1 pick, it hurts. But when you get him back, it's that much better. Number 4, we look at Mr. Incognito. Yes, I know, Mr. Incognito is sitting at number 4. Somebody we're so down on. I'm so down on every week. But I can't disregard the fact that he's putting up points. And he's putting up victories. And even though he relies on the same players every single week, and they're not key players, we're not talking about first-round picks. We're not talking about second-round picks. We're talking about defense. We're talking about quarterback play. We're not talking about normal quarterback play. We're talking about quarterback play that he found through the waiver wire. So as long as he can keep on doing this, I can't disregard it. We talked about it earlier. I can't disregard it. So we look at number 3, Speeding Bullets. Definitely can't disregard that guy. It's 3 straight victories. Remember, before the season started, we were very high on Speeding Bullets. Very high. A ranking. Sorry, Pop, but you're an A+, and look at what your team's doing. 4 straight losses. But Speeding Bullets, we can't disregard what this team is capable of doing. And remember, he's doing this with Jimmy G as his quarterback. Drew Brees is set to come back in a week, maybe 2, maybe 3, but soon. And when he comes back soon, this is going to be trouble for the rest of the league. Number 2, we look at Bukaki. Bukaki, it's that roller coaster. But look at what he did. He beat Trash Season, somebody who nobody could beat all season long. So Bukaki, we keep on bringing him back. I try to put him on that pedestal in this league. And what happens is every time we put him on that pedestal, he goes back down. He sucks again, right? So this only means that next week he'll probably be ranked like 5 or 6, right? But Bukaki is somebody you can't fuck with. This team is going to kill it moving forward. And then number 1 is Trash Season. He might have taken the L from the number 2 guy, but don't disregard this guy's lineup management. It's A+. I think this man is going to be a huge playoff push. Don't be surprised if you see him in the Super Bowl. But we don't know. Especially when you have people like Speeding Bullets who might be contending moving forward. But for now, he's number 1. By next week, we don't know. Thank you for watching Hard Hits. Bye bye.